see cool things, we went to the Lyon Air Museum out here in Long Beach. Gonna come see some really cool things, historical and just shiny, chromy. Yay! So today, looking for other cool things. You think you're cool today. You're not. Everything was much cooler back when they were flying and when they were driving these on the street. You ain't ever gonna see a car like that again. Never gonna be built like this. Quality, beautiful. This is class. So if you think you're cool because you blinged out your Cadillac, you ain't nothing. This is class, and class is cool. You cannot help to admire a plane like this. It was sleek, it was a beautiful plane. It could carry the Allied airmen all the way from England to Berlin and back again. Well, sometimes back again. Now I wanted to go in here and play with some of all these cool things and Jeeps from the war and all this quality American engineering. However, my mom's not here, so I guess I gotta go. When it came to motorcycles, Harley-Davidson was way ahead of the game, competing stiffly with Indian, as we all know. Steve McQueen's 1921 Harley-Davidson. It almost have a steampunk feel to it today, as if they were trying new things, trying to figure out what worked, just like we're doing today. You guys remember when we went to the Danish military museum in Aalborg? There they had all the G-Wagons that militaries around Europe are now driving. The precursor to those was the Geländewagen, the German version of the Jeep, built for World War II, built off the Volkswagen Beetle chassis. And a sturdy vehicle that got almost to Moscow and almost back again. What makes the Geländewagen, or this one, interesting is to have four-wheel drive. You have one engine here in the back running the back drivetrain, and another engine up here in the front running the front wheels. Thus you had all four-wheel drive. A little cumbersome, but it was the beginning of a good idea. I know it will surprise you all that there's actually a motorcycle I want other than a Harley. I do want the World War II motorcycle sidecar combo made by BMW. It's an awesome bike. I rode a few of them. In fact, one of the movies I did, the lead actress ran it into a 1943 radio truck. That was a bad day. Great bike, it's reliable, it's sturdy. I want one. The Russians started building these after World War II, taking the machinery out of Germany. Some years after that, that machinery was transferred to China, which still produced the Sundap today. So you can buy them in a couple of different configurations, but some of them are still stamped out on the old German machinery taken from the Germans after World War II in 1945. Kind of impressive, and tells you a little bit about really good engineering. One of our overseas visitations that used to belong to Steve McQueen. And it's interesting, if you look at this bike, you can clearly tell from the way it's set up that it's British, back from the 30s. This is the wrong side. You look at the little details like the leaf spring. This is just interesting. Very, very different. Remember what I told you? There's the German BMW sidecar condo we saw. Here's the Russian one. It looks exactly identical because it's made on the same machines. You know, a good idea? It's a good idea. Today you may go to war with drones or sitting far away from the battlefield, but back in the day, you flew over it in 2-engine prop plane, dropped bombs and hoped you wouldn't get jumped by fighters on the way home. It really truly was the great generation. I would like to see some of the teenagers of today take to the skies or set out on an old motorcycle sidecar onto the Eastern Front and fight. And everybody knows the Willys Jeep. You can fix it with a hammer or duct tape. By the way, did you know duct tape was invented just before World War II? I like the Willys Jeeps. They're clean, they're simple, they're rugged. They're an animal. Now I'm telling you, black and red and chrome just works. Just like back then, whoever built this plane in World War II, they got it down right. You got it black, you got chrome, you got steel, you got something really, really cool that'll take to the sky. It's a motorcycle. Believe it or not, it really is, and it's kind of cool. Seeing the Germans tow their ME-262 and small cannons on this, I rode it. It's kind of fun, it really is. All-terrain motorcycle. And here's something you definitely don't see every day, mainly because there's only 3 of these left in existence. Adolf Hitler's car, the one he drove in the beginning of the war to Poland and to France. And they won't let me take it out for a ride. I'm really offended. And just in case the Fuhrer ever went for a ride and had to cross the EU borders and didn't know where he was, he put the Deutschland sticker on the back. Obviously, period correct. And this was airborne back in the day, DC-3. People still jump from these today. I really wouldn't mind giving that a shot, jump from everything else. Not one of these guys. And back in the day when the mom was a stewardess, it was also on one of these babies. That was just a flagship transport of the military back in the day. Beautiful plane, still flies great, reliable, even as a passenger plane. Very handsome looking aircraft. They just don't build things today the way they used to. One thing you have to remember, take your kids to a museum, any kind of museum, because you have to keep history alive and your kids have to learn something.